Australia's landmark laws restricting vapes to pharmacies shut down scores of small vape sellers. Andrew Gawley is one of them.
I don't think they're going to achieve anything other than, making, criminals and the pharmaceutical companies a lot of money.
Forced to find other work, he's also struggled to find a pharmacy vape.
Some will have them available for you to order and they'll get it in a few days. Others may have it in stock, but you're limited on selection. Others just flat out refuse to sell it.
Coughs due to smoking disappear.
Vape makers are betting that will change. Big Tobacco's Philip Morris International and Chemist Warehouse-backed brand Liber are jostling for market share.
The government's efforts, which we're now starting to see bear fruit on closing the illicit market, will create demand from illicit vapers who find themselves nicotine dependent.
It's no small market at stake. It's estimated 3.5 million Australians aged 14 or over either smoke or vape. A month's supply of legal vapes can cost more than $300.
So we have a range of nicotine cartridges.
Liber's connections have given it access to major brands. Its shareholders include Chemist Warehouse, a lobby group whose chief executive is a former Coalition Health Minister, and the Pharmacy Guild's George Tambassis. The vape maker Spruks, it's not backed by Big Tobacco.
You have one senior employee, though, who has worked for the tobacco industry.
He has actually been instrumental in helping us understand and ensure that our business practices didn't fall or were able to be perceived as able to abuse the supply chain in the way we've seen the tobacco industry do so historically.
But does the profitability of your business depend on people continuing to use the product?
At the end of the day, the profitability of our business depends on doctors prescribing our product. Doctors will only prescribe our product if they have patients who need it and if they're comfortable that it provides a therapeutic benefit.
E-cigarettes are a way to provide your body with nicotine without...
Doctor referrals are vital to gaining market share because vape makers can't market directly to customers. Liber is also in on the game and owns a platform that directs people to bulk build prescribers for its vapes.
My only concern with this is,
We looked into a dozen of other online vaping prescription platforms that offer bulk build services, paid for by the taxpayer through Medicare. Some only require a questionnaire and sell Philip Morris brands.
I think it's a con. Taxpayers should be getting money from the industry, not taxpayers paying for the industry to be run.
In Australia, vape makers benefit from the lack of a specific vape tax, unlike in the UK and Canada where the products are sold in shops. Here, while cigarettes are taxed at 80 cents in the retail dollar, regulated vapes are only subject to the GST. Economist Saul Eslake thinks vapes should be taxed heavily.
Where a prescription is written for it, then it seems to me not unreasonable that some form of taxation ought to be imposed on it to discourage excessive use of what is, after all, still a nicotine-based product.
Quit lying, how can I help? They seem to be vaping more often than they smoke. For instance, using a vape, there is no end point like in a cigarette. With a cigarette, it takes like 5 minutes, you light it and then you smoke it and then it's out. With a vape, you can just grab it and use it.
While pharmacists have been allowed to sell vapes without a prescription, many are not.
The Australian Register of Therapeutic Goods contains therapeutic products that have been assessed for quality, safety and effectiveness. And currently in Australia, there are no nicotine-containing vaping products that are on the Australian Register of Therapeutic Goods.
Here, Liber's market share was evident. But Anthony Tassoni has a message for vape makers who want the products sold over the counter at pharmacies like his.
Go through the process and apply to be on the Australian Register of Therapeutic Goods. Go through the rigorous process of establishing quality, safety and effectiveness. a medicine regulation scheme that served the Australian public very well for decades in the interest of safety for patients. That's what we want to see.
A roadblock into a lucrative market.